A new storm has formed in season number 4. It's a grand national tour that ends near the California shores. Home track heroes take on big league talent. OGs return while fresh meat joins the fold. In a competition where fortune only rewards the bold. So who's willing to knock off a few doors? It's about who wants it more. In 2024.
Sean Bounty, a third-time winner. Ryan Truex gets it done. Clapper goes 3-1 and passes several cars. Foley comes out of the final corner to win.
Jordan Durasic will win this race.
Here they come across the line. Your race winner is going to be Matt Cherry.
See, in the end, nobody really cares where you got your start. The only thing that matters is where you finish.
He looks to go around the outside, ducks to the inside. It's going to be a 3-wide finish here at Daytona as they cross the line. Robert Walton wins at Daytona. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Grid Vision's coverage of the 2024 Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. My name is Taylor Burris. Alongside me is Nick Stein and our producer, the great Austin Derbyshire. And Nick, we know everything's bigger in Texas, especially here in our home state. But of course, we know things can be quite weird when it comes to racing here in Austin, especially at Circuit of the Americas.
Oh yeah, Circuit of the Americas, one of my favorite road courses to race on the NASCAR circuit. This has always been a fun track. It's been a track that people really don't like purely because of how difficult it is. This track is fun, it's flowing, it's technical. Any name you could think of to describe this place, it's probably got a corner on it to fit that narrative. I mean, you got the S's, you got the hairpins, you got the weird squiggly bits, you got the fast flowing. You got everything you could ever want in a racetrack here, and to put NASCAR on it is such a good idea, and this race has always been good, at least in my eyes. Some people find this place boring, but I love this place, and I am so excited for this.
Yes, indeed. It's used for the first time in NASCAR for a couple of years ago for these drivers to try it out, to kind of break it up a little bit, add two different venues here in Texas as we see the action, but of course utilized mostly for Formula One, sports car, and endurance racing, and then even IndyCar made a start at Circuit of the Americas at one point. But now this weekend, and of course all throughout this week here on Grid Vision, we have been getting pretty weird here in Austin as we have just wrapped up qualifying for tonight's action here at the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC. Let's take a look at our rest of the week, and of course we wrap it up Friday night with the Ryko Performance Friday Night Top Split as we conclude our action here at Circuit of the Americas. Get a little bit of a break before we get things ready to go back, turning left only next week as we head off to the next round of Richmond next Monday night. So a lot of things to look forward to, Nick, as we get set. Qualifying, of course, just wrapped up. And of course, for those of you tuning in, we want to say thank you. Make sure to give all your thoughts, but let's see here, Nick. What are the keys to victory here, to surviving at COTA?
Oh man, COTA is always a tricky track, and of course, the first thing, stay calm under pressure. This track is notorious for just being an endurance-based track. You know, it's tough, it's long, it's just everything you could think of that is tough, you could get it here. Like I said, stay calm under pressure. Like I said, long race, 50 laps tonight. Just stay calm. Stay in your zone, just log laps. That's what you need to do to survive first. And of course, get comfy. Like I said, long race, long track, over 2 minute lap times here, 2 minute 20-ish lap times here. So get comfortable. It's a long track, it's a long race. You're gonna have to have some good endurance to do good tonight. And then lastly, man, you just gotta choose your strategy correct. Tonight is gonna be just strategy all night, you know, fuel saving, tire saving, anything you can think of to get an upper edge on somebody else, do it tonight. That's basically what you're gonna have to do to win.
Absolutely. Here tonight's race is 50 laps long with a stage break at lap 12 and 28. Of course, we're going to keep it green flag racing on lap 12 and then a caution on lap 28. Let's go ahead and take our picks for tonight. He's not looking to see any rain on the circuit here tonight like we did a couple of years ago, but Noah Rainwater will be my pick for tonight's action.
I'm going to go ahead and take Sean Boundy in the 35. I think he's got a pretty good car under him tonight. We'll see if he can pull out a win tonight. And I think Darby chose the 6 car of Jordan Jurassic. So, you know, he's sticking with the 6. You know, he's picked them most of the races this season. So he's in a pretty good spot, sitting second right now.
He has picked a good one indeed, as we'll keep an eye on him. Of course, Jordan Jurassic definitely going to be one to watch here tonight, and always a road course ringer. He's running the Grid Vision paint here tonight, so can't go wrong with that either. So it's a win-win no matter what happens. But field just about wrapped up. I mean, a lot of great things have been happening so far this season. We've had multiple different race winners, and of course, we got to keep an eye on the action that we'll be seeing here tonight. Track weather conditions currently at the moment is pretty toasty out there. 83 degrees, which is just about what we would see on a spring day in March here at Circuit of the Americas. But that track temperature, 114 degrees, is going to get quite sticky out there for these tires around this circuit.
Yeah, it's going to get real slippery too, especially in the S's once you get onto a pretty decent run on the tires, because these guys should be able to do somewhere around 20-ish laps on fuel. I'm not 100% sure on the fuel window, so don't crucify me just yet. But once I get the math figured out and I figure out what fuel windows will be, yeah, I think it's going to be about 20 laps. So these tires definitely will start to get slick some point tonight.
So the question is going to be then, Nick, with stage points given out at lap 12, even though it's under green, will we see drivers determined to come down pit road at the end of that stage, or try to stretch it out and maybe go halfway towards stage 2, get pit at lap 20, and then try to get themselves situated and ready to go before the end of stage 2 when the other points are given up?
I think it's gonna really depend on where you are at the finish of stage 1. I think if you're going for stage points, and a lot of them at that, so I'm talking, you know, your top 5, I think they're gonna run it out through stage 1, maybe go to about lap 19 or 20 and then pit. That way they have those fresher tires as soon as they get to that stage 2, and get into that stage 2, I should say, and get closer and closer to that stage caution at lap 28. So like I said, it's going to depend on where you are. I think if you're a little bit further back, say 7th through 10th, maybe 7th through 11th, I would probably pit at lap 12, you know, get some fresher tires, maybe get some lap time over those guys that are a little bit faster than you, and then go from there. You know, I believe they have a tire limit tonight. I need to check that, but
2.
if they have 2 tires, then yeah, it's really going to depend on where you are.
I mean, the smart thing maybe to try and do is pit if you decide to stay out till your fuel window, just pit at your fuel window, and then maybe with a few laps to go, depending on where you are in positioning, pit maybe with 10, 15 laps left to go in the race where you have some fresh tires and maybe make up some ground, depending on where you are.
Yeah, like I said, that's where the strategy part's going to come in. You know, it's 20-lap run on the fuel, give or take. You know, some people will probably run it out, you know, do the 20, then go to around 38 to 40. That kind of range, just kind of get that last run kind of as short as possible so you could push all out on that last run. But like I said, tonight is going to be all about strategy. I genuinely thought that, now that I know it actually is going to be about strategy, yeah, we're going to have to watch and see what people decide to do. And especially in our top 5, you know, Matt Hoyland, Jordan Jurassic, those guys, we're going to have to see what they do for strategy, because it will be interesting tonight.
Well, with that, it's time to give you your starting lineup for tonight's racing action. And one driver who decided to come across the pond here to race as a road course ringer this season is Mr. Matt Hoyland for DNQ Racing. He's going to start alongside the Grid Vision Chevrolet of Jordan Jurassic for second place. Third position will be Gregory Shepsis, followed by Noah Rainwater in fourth. Sean Bounty and Tristan Bruce will round in row number 3. TJ DeBlasi and Reed Foley will be in row number 4. And rounding out your top 10 is Brandon Slow, and Andrew Olazewski is in 10th position.
Chase Leahy's going to be starting in 11th position tonight with Todd Lee in 12th. Matt Cherry is going to be starting in 13th with Ryan Zunk in 14th position. Robert Golgan going to be starting 15th tonight with Bo Connon in 16th. Nicholas Tomlinson's going to be starting 17th with Anthony Burleson in 18th position. 19th is going to be Brandon Schumann with Matt Holmes rounding out those who set times in qualifying tonight.
21st will be, of course, the driver of Tyler Truex, followed by Christopher Tate in 22nd. Matt Garrett and Matthew Montgomery will be starting in 23rd and 24th in row 12. In row 13 will be Bobby Grant and Dominic Cahart, with Justin Clapper, Chase Albright, and Damian Neeson rounding out your 29 truck field as we get set, ready to go racing here tonight. There you see the Great Vision machine of Jordan Durasic, ready to go racing here tonight.
My question is for you. Is where are we going to see our chaos tonight?
Well,
where do you think we're going to see that absolute craziness throughout the field that we are so used to seeing at road courses?
Well, for sure, we're going to see it at turn number 1. When they make that climb up the top of the hill, I've called a couple of races from that section, and you know for a fact that's where you're going to see some chaos, a lot of beating and banging, drivers trying to jockey for position in cars, possibly not even going to finish the race because of the issues that happen at turn number 1. A couple of other sections that we just saw them come out of, that little bit of the arena course where they just came out of before they hit the carousel, that's going to be another area as well.
Yeah, those are going to be some good areas. I'm more talking where in the field are we going to see our chaos? Where's going to be our battling for the night? I'm thinking probably around the 10th to 15th areas where we're going to see, that big grouping of cars that just can't seem to get away from each other,
Absolutely here. So we'll see how this all plays out as they make the hard left turn out of the way. Fred, the pace car driver, as they enter over into, it says turn 16, but it's usually a 20-corner circuit here. But as they enter into the TLC Incorporated restart zone, Barney the Flag Man will have the Pine Golf green flag in hand as we are ready to go racing as they make the drag race up to the top of the hill here at turn number 1. Who is going to survive it? Everyone trying to jockey, but Matt Hoyland gets a great jump of the field on the number 44. 3 wide as they come through the middle of turn 1. How about Rainwater trying to send it in as they stay 3 wide through the middle of turn 1 and 2. Everyone makes it clean.
Already starting to see the chaos of turn 1 on restarts here at Circuit of the Americas. 3, 4 wide through turn 1. And now things are going to start to single file out very quickly here as everyone works their way through the S's. Man, everyone's just single filing out, looking for that space, looking for that tarmac just to kind of chill out. Find your rhythm, find your groove, find where you are fastest, find that grip. These first 5 or 6 laps are going to just be about finding everything you can do to be fast.
It really is. Just pace yourself, trying to get yourself in a bit of a rhythm. But for Matt Hoyland, he is automatically checked out on the field as they enter into the hairpin right here. Great passing opportunity, but Rainwater's not even close. Nobody is. But there is a pass for position between Sean Boundy and Gregory Shepsis, who now sees Boundy be able to pull away in his Rebel Racing Toyota. He's going to drag race down to the second tight corner in the braking zone, but is able to clear Shepsis for position for the moment into the next turn.
Headed down into turn number 12 here. This is another great passing opportunity. Boundy gets clear of Gregory Shepsis there, and that's going to put Boundy up into, I believe that's going to be 4th position for that 35 machine. So pretty good start for him, going up 1 position on this initial start.
Trouble! 1 car around as 2 of them make contact. That's the 30 machine of Christopher Tate. He collects Tyler Truex involved in this incident as well. I think Truex just rear-ended the back end of Christopher Tate right there. 2 of the drivers who we saw make a good run at Darlington last week, as we'll take a look at the replay here. But not the way you want to start off the race and miss the braking zone completely.
What happened? I'm going to go back and look at that. It looks like he just didn't even brake for the corner. Yeah, he braked probably a solid 100 yards too late.
Yeah,
the entire football field too late for that 69 truck.
Absolutely here as they work their way out of the Whataburger Arena section, I have to say, and make their way over towards the final couple of quarters. Matt Hoyland, well, he's kind of already checked out on the competition pretty much. He is checked out to a 2.6 second lead over Noah Rainwater as they come out through the turn 2 and 3 and through the S's. Everyone just now minding their P's and Q's as they work their way through inside the top 10.
Yeah, this is kind of what we've seen all week with what Matt Hoyland is doing right now is, you have that one really fast guy that just checks out from the field and you almost never see him again. And, we had that, in essence, in both our Monday Night Top Split coverages, the A-Open race that we did Monday night, Sean Conklin checked out, won that race by over 15 seconds. And in In the B Open, you had the top 2 guys check out by a solid 10 seconds over someone who is known to be a road course ringer, at least on the cup racing side. So, yeah, this has been kind of a practice of normality for what Matt Hoyland is doing right now. Is, you know, he's checked out by a pretty solid margin. You just got hornet's nests that have been popping up throughout the rest of the field, and people just battling and fighting each other. Like, we may have a battle for position here. This is TJ DeBlasi. Believe that is Reed Foley on right behind him. This is a battle for 6th position here between
Truck down. That is Ryan Zunk, who is able to go around right there.
Did he have a little bit of help? No, he did not. I think
No,
he
he
just
did
got on
not.
the curb.
Yep, got a little too much curbing, gathered it up, and will continue. Drops back to 15th position, battling with Anthony Burleson and Bo Condon.
Look at a replay here. Of course, this is our favorite corner in the road course scene between me and Austin Edstrom. Turn number 12 always seems to be a problem corner no matter what road course you go to, and Ryan Zunk there just getting it all wrong on the exit.
Gathers it back up, continues on his way. Meanwhile, Matt Hoyland, well, he's dropped another 3 seconds on the competition. Meanwhile, Sean Boundy tried to send it in on Jordan Durasic for the 3rd position. Almost completed the pass, but Durasic holds on for the moment and will continue on. They are still quite a ways back from Noah Rainwater by about 1.2 seconds. You're on board with the Grid Vision Chevrolet of Durasic as they snake across through the S's. Shepsis also in the fight for a top 3 finish here tonight.
Yeah, Boundy there just trying to just kind of hold position here on Durasic. You know, a lot of people say dirty air really isn't a thing with NASCAR, but especially in these slower corners, you could definitely feel that lack of downforce when you're behind another car. And, you know, Boundy looks like he's really starting to feel that as he lost probably a solid 6 or 7 tenths there on Durasic, but just going to make it all back up in the braking zone there into turn 11. And coming off the corner, it looks like Durasic is going to get a little bit loose here, allow Boundy to maybe get into that draft a little bit going down the back.
Absolutely, as they work their way through, and you see now Boundy trying to close the gap a little bit on Durasic. Not going to work for the moment as they rocket down the straightaway towards that braking zone, and Shepsis sends it in deep as well, but no one's close enough to make a pass for position at this time.
Yeah, that's always, it's kind of a, you know, a game of chess basically between everyone when it comes to trying to make positions up, especially at road courses with the trucks. I mean, not only is it so incredibly difficult to pass at a place like Circuit of the Americas, it's just incredibly difficult to pass on the trucks to start with. So, I mean, this is going to be, like I said, pretty much a game of chess, just trying to get that one position that could get you a few more points here tonight. So, yeah, like I said, just a game of chess between these guys. Just, yeah, it's going to be a rough one for passing.
It really is. As we pick up the 52 machine you see on screen here, working his way around the circuit, trying to get the driver who is behind the wheel of that 52 machine.
Brandon
Schumann right there having a good, decent run as he's working his way through. As he's hitting 24th, he's picked up a couple of spots, but no one is able to touch Matt Hoyland. He is now stretched out to a 5.6 second lead as Rainwater is trying to close the gap, but he's now getting pressured by Durasic and Boundy, who are right there in the mix as they come out of turn number 2 and 3. Still some great racing action inside the top 5. Everyone else trying to just pace themselves. Got a couple of battles further back around the top 10 between Olazewski and Brandon Slow. Robert Colgan makes a pass for 15th between him and Anthony Burleson as they battle for position.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that this race is really boring, at least to start for this, but, you know, I'm going to go back to what I said a little bit earlier on the endurance aspect of this race, because this race, like I said earlier, is 50 laps long. That is 8 laps longer than the real truck race here this weekend. I believe it's this Friday, actually. The real
Saturday.
truck race. Oh, is it Saturday? Anyway,
Yes.
what I was getting at is the real truck race this weekend is going to be 42 laps. So these guys are having to do 8 more laps than what they would do in real life, and that's really going to test the endurance of these guys because 50 laps of any road course is difficult, but you take a Dakota, one of the longest road courses in the United States when it comes to NASCAR, yeah, it's going to be a rough one for these guys.
It really, especially when we have a caution and they have to pace around here around this circuit under a caution lap or two.
I can personally attest to that. You think Daytona, Pocono, Michigan, even those pace laps are long? Try almost 4 minutes of pace laps here at Circuit of the Americas. It's 2 minutes normally, but you're sitting at what, 55 miles an hour throughout the rest of the racetrack? Yeah, over 4 minutes for pace laps. So yeah, definitely a very long track here.
Very much indeed, as we watch the competition work their way through, continuing to see how everyone will fare. Burleson working his way up inside the top 15 right now as he has a good little bit of a battle with Colgan and Zunk as they work their way out of the position, out of the arena section. Colgan having a good fight right here as well as he's trying to cross him over a little bit to the inside of Burleson. Not going to work. Bo Condon right there watching and waiting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, that 16, 17, 18 complex right there, it's modeled after that Istanbul Park turns 7, 8, and 9. And it's really difficult to pass through that section. I mean, heck, that entire arena section and going through Whataburger Corner and through turn 20, that entire section is just so incredibly difficult to pass in. And you know, you could make a pass work, especially if you really try, but it is just so difficult to pass in that section. It's actually Colgan sending a dive bomb to the inside of turn 1 on Burleson, and looks like he's going to make it stick without really any fight from that 79 truck.
Nope, no fighting whatsoever. They're going to gather it back up, keep on racing. There you see the 30 of Christopher Tate. He's already picked up a couple of spots after his spin. He was 29th at one point, now sits 17th as Bo Condon and Nicholas Tomlinson battle for the 18th spot.
Yeah, going through the S's here, another really difficult place to pass here. There's only really 3 or 4 good passing spots here at Circuit of the Americas. You got turn 1, turn 11, turn 12, and if you're really brave, you could make 13 through 15 work for a quick dive bomb. But like I said, passing opportunities are limited here, so wouldn't be surprised if we get towards the end of this thing, maybe things are a little bit more crazy because of that stage caution. I would not be surprised to see some crazy moves through that arena section.
Absolutely. Here we might see some action as we watch these battling out for position. Keeping an eye on a couple of other battles. You have, of course, de Blasi and Tristan Bruce battling for P6. Then you have the battle for 9th between Brandon Slow, Chase Leahy, Todd Lee, and Andrew Olazewski. That's a good little battle for P9. So just keeping an eye on the competition. Then you have that battle for P2 between Rainwater, Jurassic, and Boundy, which has tightened up quite a bit, as Jurassic has closed the gap on them, as trouble for Ryan Zunk as he has looped it around or taken it to the garage. Yes, he has taken it to the garage. So his day is done. Let's see if we can get a look at the replay.
Oh, turn 12 again. He just he's spun it again, and he's just like, nope, I'm out of here. Goodbye. Got a pass for position up here for 3rd position. Sean Bounty just made a dive bomb on Jordan Jurassic up the hill in turn 1. Now going to be side by side going down into the S's here. This could get a little bit tricky, especially as that entrance to the S's really tightens up, but Jurassic decides to cut him off and Bounty backs out of it.
Keeping an eye on this action here as they work their way through the S's, making the climb up to the top of the hill here. As Sean Bounty having a good ride here inside the top 5. He's still trying to hold his own against Gregory Shepsis for that 4th position. But right now, no pressure. He's got a little bit of a breathing room and tries to set his sights on Jurassic for that 3rd spot. But really, absolutely a dominant run by Matt Hoyland, 6.7 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he's really pulled the pace off. I mean, he's running 2:22.3s right now, and you know, you got Boundy in 4th position, just ran a 2:21.9, so, and Shepsis right behind Boundy with a 2:21.5, so, I mean, there are people that are faster than Hoyland right now, but I highly doubt that Hoyland is even giving us an inkling that he is pushing whatsoever right now. But yeah, there's a couple people faster, but I think Hoyland's just chilling right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Hoyland was able to get the start and just absolutely set the pace on the field. And now he's kind of just dialed it back, where he's not overusing his equipment, just taking care of his car, his tires, taking care of his truck, and just is able to maintain the lead over the rest of the field as Rainwater, Jurassic, Bounty, and Shepsis, they're kind of battling each other, so they're kind of using up their tires, using up their equipment, and it could be detrimental to them as the race goes on if they're not careful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, going back to Hoyland for a moment, I mean, he pulled that lead, and he's just chilling right now. I mean, like I said, there's no reason to push if you're Matt Hoyland right now. You got over an 8-second lead right now over your next closest competitor in Noah Rainwater, and I just don't see a reason for him to be pushing right now, especially since we're only halfway through stage one, just barely hit halfway through stage one. So, like I said, I just don't see a reason that anyone needs to push right now, considering how long this race is.
Keeping an eye a little further back, this is the battle for 10th between Brandon Slow, Reed Foley, Chase Leahy, along with Todd Lee and Andrew Olazewski.
Yeah, this is gonna, like I said, there's battles all over the place. I mean, especially further back in the field, these guys, the Reed Foleys, the Brandon Slows, the Chase Leahys, these guys, they have more to fight for, especially seeing as they're on the edge of the top 10 and those stage points. So these guys battling like this, it may not be good for their tires, but if they want some points tonight, they really got to fight.
Matt Cherry coming down pit road here as he is out of the race. So tough break for Matt Cherry.
I wonder what happened to him. Did he just decide to pull it off, or?
Seems to be the case looking over. As we'll take a look at the replay to see what happened to Matt Cherry.
I wonder if he just decides to pull it off here. Or just got.
He looks like he's just was not happy how he was running and decided to call it a night.
Yeah, that'd be my best approximation. Battle for third position has cooled off a little bit, though. Sean Bounty falling off of Jordan Jurassic just a little bit, now under fire from Gregory Shepsis.
Yeah, just past the halfway point in stage number 1. We're going to keep it green here once they cross the line after lap number 12. Won't get a caution until just a little bit past the halfway point into stage number 2.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these guys that have really fallen off the pace are just waiting for, that stage 2 caution, because that's going to allow them to get back up to these leaders, and maybe they've learned something by then and figure out what Matt Hoyland is doing differently. But even then, 28 laps at Circuit of the Americas is still a very, very long time. We're not even 10 laps in. Over 20 minutes have elapsed since the green flag. So, yeah, that is some. I'm gonna keep harping on it all night. I just hope some very long laps here at Circuit of the Americas.
It really is. I mean, last time by, Matt Hoyland ran a 2-minute 22.725. His best lap was a 2-minute 20, which was about a second off his pole time of a 2:19. So it really just shows how long you have to just pace yourself and how long this track is for these NASCAR trucks.
Yeah, and it's not just the NASCAR trucks where this is a long lap. All of NASCAR is over the 2-minute mark. I mean, heck, the Cup cars, they're not even cracking 2-minute 10-second lap times unless you're just all out pushing everything is out you can get out of the car. Yeah, unless you're Sean Conklin, who just You know, casual Monday afternoon does 2-minute 9-second lap times just for funsies.
I mean, he is one of the top drivers currently this year in eNASCAR competition outside of the Coca-Cola series for the most part. So he's definitely going to be one to watch throughout the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because I don't know if he's making an RTP run this year, a Road to Pro run, but if he is, then I think he could be one to watch. But if he's not making one this year and decides to go for it next year, I definitely think he could be one to watch to make it at least to consider. Oh, Reed Foley around there. That's turn 13 and 14 right there.
Trouble for Reed Foley as he will have to gather it back up and continue on his way. Also, we're going to take a look at Dominic Cahart also having some problem. Oh,
Oh, this is down towards Whataburger corner.
didn't make any contact with the Armco barrier, so give props to him on that. And Nick, no cheating. And for those of you who are tuning in here on Grid Vision, no cheating either. What do you think is the lap record for the NASCAR Truck Series here at COTA?
Are we talking real life or iRacing?
We're talking real life.
Real life, I'm going to go ahead and say it's in the 2-minute 21-second bracket.
2-minute 21-second bracket. Okay, we'll give a chance for some of our viewers here to put some times up here before I'll give the answer.
Just tell me, am I close?
No.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
As in faster or slower?
Faster.
Oh, faster than a 21. Okay.
Our producer is close, but he's got to go a little higher.
I'm gonna go. Can I change my answer, or is
Nope.
my answer concrete?
Your answer is now concrete.
Dang. And it just popped into my head too. I know what the answer is.
How about this pass right here from Sean Bounty to the inside, and he will take
Oh!
2-for-1 special. Not quite. Jurassic, though, give them a little bit of a shunt right there to the back bumper of his Rebel Racing Toyota, but move Bounty up to P3. He has been all over the back bumper of Jurassic, finally gets his way around for the position.
I was gonna say he got really late onto the brakes there into 12. I honestly thought he could have, if the corner was a little bit further on, I think he could have made that move on Rainwater. But like I said, just got a little bit too hot into the corner and then had to stab on the brakes just to get the car turned, and that gave Jurassic pretty good jump scare there, having to check up big time for Sean Bounty.
Absolutely there, but he's able to gather it back up. No harm, no foul. No severe damage to the back bumper of Bounty either. As we are closing in on 2 laps left to go for the end of stage number 1. And I'll go ahead and give you the answer there, Nick. 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
I knew it.
2:98. Who was the driver?
Okay, so you're turning my trivia brain on. Was it in 2023 or 2022?
2023.
Okay. Not Josafar. That is not even close. He sucked at COTA in 2023. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, because Larson was racing last year in the trucks at COTA, but I don't think, was this a race lap record or a qualifying lap record?
This was during the race.
During the race, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was either Bowman or Larson that said it.
Let's go with the driver of Kyle Busch, setting the time.
Oh, I forgot Busch ran last year too.
Yep. And the fastest lap time currently for the Circuit of the Americas, of course, goes to the Formula One driver Charles Leclerc with a 1 minute 36.169 back at the 2019 United States Grand Prix.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And have you seen that video on YouTube of the comparison between IndyCar and Formula One here at Circuit of the Americas?
It's insane.
It is insane. Like just through Sector 1 of the track, I believe the Formula One car gained, what was it, almost 2 seconds over the Indy car.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that was just a test session, that video was made for with the IndyCar, but I mean, still, that is absolutely wild to think about.
Absolutely here. And of course, we'll see Formula One coming to Circuit of the Americas later on this year, along with the World Endurance Championship and the SRO GT Series. And of course, NASCAR is here this weekend at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, I'll actually be at the WEC race, the Lone Star Le Mans, the 6-hour, I believe it's a 6-hour race here at Circuit of the Americas, and I plan on being there. I don't know if I'll actually be able to make it, but I kind of want to go.
Well, I'll be at the SRO race and the WEC race, hopefully.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just look at the difference between first and second real quick. Just ah man, that's just funny. They're just coming out of turn 20, and Hoyland's just coming out of turn 1, so pretty big difference there. And you know, Hoyland just lapped the 69 to Tyler Truex, which is going to be our first legitimate lapped car here tonight.
Yep, after 11 laps or 10 laps have been completed, we're currently on lap 11. We have one car finally put one lap down, leaving 26 trucks on the lead lap. 2 trucks are out of the race. Next up is Braden Schumann, who has fallen off the pace quite a bit, but for Matt Hoyland, just picking up where he left off and continues on his way with a strong run. We saw how he was during the 24 Beers of Daytona back in January, of how strong he was. And he's continuing to showcase that here tonight, as he will lead the charge once again. One of the part-time drivers, one of the road course ringers who will be competing in this season.
Yeah, road course ringer is definitely right. I mean, not even to the end of stage 1, and I believe he's already close to eclipsing that 10-second mark over Noah Rainwater. So, actually, yeah,
13
well over 10 seconds. I haven't looked at that gap, but probably I saw the 3 laps if you could.
Reed
Because the
Foley,
last time, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Reed Foley just came off pit road to service his number 15 VVA.org truck. So he will continue on his way, dropping back to 16th after running inside the top 10.
And that's honestly surprising that he only loses 5 positions after pinning. That's how spread out it gets here at Circuit of the Americas. It is what I'm learning. Well, I mean, I already knew this, but especially tonight, I didn't think it would get this spread out this quickly.
Well, it's not spread out enough for Noah Rainwater or Sean Bounty or Jordan Daraska or Gregory Shepsis, as those 4 have been glued nose to tail since the drop of the green flag, as Bounty thinks about looking to the inside, can't find his opening just yet as they come out of the arena section of the circuit, and will continue to do battle coming past the tower and make their way over towards the back half, towards the Whataburger corner.
Taylor, how many times have you been to Circuit of the Americas?
My first time was about 2 years ago for the SCCA race, and then I came here for the the second time NASCAR came here. Not during the rainy year, but the
I was
normal
actually
year.
I was there for the rainy year. That year sucked. But
Yes.
what I was asking, have you ever been in the tower before?
Yes, I have been to the top of the tower. I took the elevator.
I have as well. And it was very it was awesome. Like I loved being up there.
It was actually
yeah,
my first date.
Oh. But no, like I said, Circuit of the Americas is probably one of the better has probably one of the better amenities of any racetrack I've been to. And I mean, do you have any experience with that, like with other racetracks and their amenities? Because I honestly thought Circuit of the Americas had some of the best.
Well, the only circuit that I can say that could come close to the stadium arena, even though this is a road course, but if you think about it, COTA has not just the racetrack, but you also have the concert arena. You also have the football club that happens also right there in the heart of the circuit. The only track I can think of that comes close to this is Daytona, even though
I was gonna say the same thing, because I've been to both COTA and Daytona, and it's really close between those two. But I think COTA edges out Daytona purely because of the amount of food you can get just in that arena section alone.
absolutely, I will have to say that much.
Like some of the barbecue I've had there in that arena section. Ooh man, they have some very, very good barbecue. Like I said, if any of you viewers ever get to go to Circuit of the Americas, the barbecue that goes on in the infield is awesome. At that arena section.
Yeah, it is just, as they work their way into the stadium section right now, Rainwater trying to see if he can hold off Bounty, because Bounty is coming. He's trying to cross him up a little bit here as they enter in. Contact. Rainwater tries to put a little bit of a shove right there to give a little bit of room as they enter into the pit boss corner. Can't quite do it yet for Bounty, but he will continue to hold on for position as they work their way out of the arena section and head over to the Whataburger turn and past the tower. Great drive here between the two of them as they put on a drive, but for Matt Hoyland, he will come across the line and win stage number 1, but we will still keep it clean and green for the moment as they come out of turn number 16. Here comes a push right now from Bounty to get on the back bumper of Rainwater and cannot get the opening. He will end up coming home in third in stage number 1. Then you have Jurassic Shepsis running at your top 5. Kristen Bruce in 6th. TJ DeBlasi will easily come home in 7th. 8th will be Chase Leahy. He's all by himself for the moment. Todd Lee in 9th. The battle we're going to have to watch, though, is between Olazewski and Christopher Tate for that 10th spot.
Yeah, they're coming down to Whataburger corner now, and through turn 19 off camber, tricky. Oh, that's going to be a slowdown right there. I can guarantee he was well over that curb.
Oh, he's going to give a little bit of a push right there to Olazewski as they come out of there. But, yep, Christopher Tate's going to slow it down. Olazewski will get the 10th spot. That is your top 10 after stage number 1. How about that? Of course, tonight's racing broadcast is brought to you none other than by our friends over at TLC. TLC is the premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, and drainage solutions in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Transform your home into a showcase in just one day with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, energy-efficient outdoor lighting, or the healthiest backyard in the business. A little lawn goes a long way with TLC. Head to tlcincorporated.com for more information.
Just keeping an eye on this battle right here between. Oh, Bounty did get past the 05-0 Rainwater finally. Took him 13 laps.
Yes, he did, and we're going to watch this as we go side by side. You're watching the 2024 TLC iRacing Thunderclap Series presented by TLC Incorporated live on GridVision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Thunderclap iRacing series presented by TLC Incorporated. Taylor Burris here, along with Nick Stein, Austin Derbyshire, our producer, as Matt Hoyland has just picked up stage win number 1. We're still keeping it clean and green here. A couple of drivers did come down pit road, Noah Rainwater being one of them, along with a couple of other drivers, such as TJ DeBlasi, Reed Foley, along with Robert Colgan and Matt Garrett and Nicholas Tomlinson. Sorry, Robert Colgan has not pitted yet. Garrett and Tomlinson have. So we'll see how this plays out for these drivers here before the end of stage number 2, as we pick up Sean Boundy and Jordan Durasic and Gregory Shepsis still battling for that second spot now.
Yeah, these two, like we mentioned before the break, have been nose to tail pretty much since the drop of the green flag. So, yeah, not a surprise at all to see these guys still battling like it's the end of the world for the second place spot. Because, I mean, let's be honest here, none of them are catching Hoyland at this point, unless Hoyland gets into an accident somehow. But of course, that's kind of a bad thing to say. But Hoyland has just had an iron death grip over this race since the green flag drop.
Well, you got to throw in the fact he does have to still come down pit road. So Rainwater, if he's able to play his cards right and can make up some time on the competition, he could possibly either get back to second or maybe close the gap between him and Hoyland before the end of stage 2.
It's going to be really hard to close 20 seconds in what 8 laps, because Hoyland looks from the looks of it, Hoyland's going to is planning on running this one out all the way to the end as far as he can into this fuel cycle, which would be anywhere between 19 and 20 laps. So yeah, 20 seconds is really hard to make up in that short of time, but you know, it is doable.
Yeah, you got to throw in the factor he could make a mistake on pit road, get caught for speeding. I mean, there's a lot of options here that you got to throw in. Got to build a little bit of excitement as Sean Boundy comes down pit road, leaving Durasic and Shepsis out on the track. See here, Tristan Bruce also comes down pit road for the time being, and as Rainwater will move up into the 4th spot. There you see Sean Boundy and the Rebel Racing Machine.
Just that long, depressing wait for those tires to go on. Actually, I don't think he took tires. That was a quick pit stop for that 35 truck.
Seemed like, yeah, take a short splash of fuel just to make it to the end of stage number 2, and then maybe debate on putting fresh tires on at the end. Possibly not, but here comes Rainwater as he tries to close back in, as he has now moved up to P5 after getting around Tristan Bruce through the pit cycle.
I think Rainwater made a mistake on pit road. Either he took tires or he made a pretty big mistake on pit road, because he was right behind Boundy when he came down pit road, and now he's, what is that, almost 6 seconds probably off of Sean Boundy in that 35 truck. So I'm assuming Rainwater took tires. That would be my only guess.
Well, we'll take a look at the lap differences after a lap or two to see what the gap is. Rainwater ran a 2:25.7 last time by, so he's about 7/10 off the race pace of Boundy and Shepsis, and then he's 2 seconds off your race leader, who ran a 2:23 last time by.
Of course, Hoyland ran a 2:23 on 15 lap old tires.
Yeah, he's the only one who's running above a 2:25 out of everyone in the field.
Yeah, that does track for Matt Hoyland. he is of course the road course ringer, as everyone seems to have named him. So yeah, not surprising to see him over 2 seconds faster than the rest of the field. And I mean, just in the time we've been talking here, he's already pulled that gap to Sean Boundy over 20 seconds. So, because Hoyland's coming off of turn 20 now, and Sean Boundy's just barely in turns 13, 14, and 15 right now.
About to put the 5 of Matt Holmes a lap down as well for your race leader, putting 22 cars on the lead lap, leaving 4 1 or more laps down. So we'll see how this plays out for strategy as we pick up Robert Colgan in the 94, currently running in 19th position and being chased down by Dominic Cahart in the TLC Incorporated number 58.
Actually, Cahart's the one in 19th position right now. Actually, no. Colgan has passed Cahart sometime in the last lap here. I think Cahart may have made a mistake up into 1. Yeah, he did. He locked up pretty heavily, K-Hart did. Actually, he looped it in turn 1. That's what allowed Colgan to get by on this lap.
Certainly is the case, as another retirement, Matthew Montgomery has taken it behind the wall along with Brandon Schumann. We're now down to 25 trucks on the track as we see one car come down pit road and continue on his way as we pick up Matt Hoyland, your race leader. Chepsis, though, putting some pressure on Jordan Durasic for that second position, though, as they come out of the S's.
Yeah, this is our, once again, resumed battle for second position between Durasic and Chepsis. These guys, again, we've mentioned it a few times, have been at each other's throats pretty much all race since the drop of the green flag, so not surprising at all to click back onto them and see them battling for this second spot, which Durasic currently holds, and yeah, just nothing but clear track in front of these two, and that's kind of depressing to look at if you're a driver like Durasic sitting in second place, knowing that you're one of the fastest trucks on track, but you can't do anything about it because you got someone who's 2 seconds a lap faster than you right now.
It certainly is, but for those of you who are tuning in here on Grid Vision as we ride on the Grid Vision Chevrolet, as Shepsis tries to send it into the inside as they come through the stadium section of the circuit. But for those of you who are tuning in here on Grid Vision, if your league or series is interested in partnering with us here on Grid Vision, make sure to reach out to us on social media on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or of course visit our website at gridvision.gg for more information. We do have openings throughout the week if you are having a series that is wanting to be broadcasted on Grid Vision, as well as job openings for producers or broadcasters if you want to start your career in esports commentary or video production. Make sure to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to have you on the team as we call the action here on Grid Vision.
Hey, and I'm living proof that if you start somewhere, you can get into real broadcasting. As I started here on Grid Vision, what was it, 6 months ago? The NIS Martinsville race last year, and it's already led to real life opportunities. I've been on the radio a few times actually, so living proof that it does work. You start in esports broadcasting, you could definitely go somewhere in this industry.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity, and it doesn't have to be in the motorsports industry. It could be in many different forms, like, of course, for our great Nick Stein, who is doing basketball and other forms of stick and ball sports. Yep, Justin Prince, as well, is a big commentator for a lot of the Canadian hockey and volleyball, college volleyball series up in Canada.
I'm on the college softball side as well. I mean, I get to do 2 straight games next Thursday and Friday night when UCF, University of Central Florida, comes to Lubbock, Texas to take on the Texas Tech Lady Raiders softball team next Thursday and Friday night. I'll be on the call for both of those games. So,
well, I will be located up in New Caney, Texas for the second round of the Texas Sprint Racing Series. So a little bit of karting racing action this weekend for me.
Oh, and breaking news, Taylor. Matt Hoyland is human. He ran a 2-minute 25-second lap time.
Okay, good. I was getting a little worried, but it was a 2:25.0.
I mean, still, it's still a 2:25. There's hope. There is hope, Taylor.
Well, he's currently 22.3 seconds ahead of Durasic for the moment. I mean, you literally have to. If we just went to the start-finish line where Barney the Flagman is and just waited till Hoyland, we would be there a while as he comes towards the Whataburger corner. That's making me want to.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of those videos you see on TikTok with, the gap between Max Verstappen and the next car in the Formula One races because of how dominant his car is. So it's kind of what it reminds me of. Just sit at the finish line and just wait.
Yep, that's pretty much what it is. As they come up to the top of turn number 1, you ride on board. Take a crank it up moment and ride on board with Matt Hoyland as he shows you how it's done here at Circuit of the Americas. Matt Hoyland had a close call right there through the carousel out of the stadium section of the course, but was able to continue on as Robert Colgan gathers it back up. But no pressure whatsoever. He has a 24.8 second, make it 25 second lead now over Jordan Durasic. Still waiting on a couple of drivers to still come down pit road, as Durasic, Shepsis, and Hoyland have not pitted, along with Christopher Tate, Todd Lee, Justin Clapper, Anthony Burleson, Damian Neeson, Dominic Cahart, Bobby Grant, and Bo Condon, and Chase Albright have yet to pit. We have 18 trucks on the lead lap, as Hoyland will put another truck a lap down, this time being, I believe, Mr. Damian Neeson, as he will be one lap down, putting 17 trucks on the lead lap.
I tell you what, Matt Hoyland right now, he's got enough time to make a sandwich, take an afternoon siesta, and still have a lead by the end of that time.
I'm partially tempted just to call him up on the booth and just ask him what's he like out there.
Yeah, it's like, how's the weather up there? Because nobody else is in the same zip code right now.
Absolutely. I mean, he's still in Austin. Everyone else is probably either in Round Rock or other parts of the state of Texas by how far of a lead that Matt Hoyland has.
Heck, I'd put him down in New Braunfels, if anything.
Yeah, probably that too.
People who are not from Texas have no idea what we're talking about.
No, they do not. But you know what? That's okay.
Hey, as long as we know, the joke's funny.
Exactly. We like to keep it weird here at COTA.
That was a that was a bad joke. Oh, I hate it. I hated that. I despise them.
You know what?
No.
Deal with it.
No, I will not deal with that. It's a dumb joke and you know it.
Well, I'm gonna just stick with it.
For those of you uninformed, that's a play on Austin's motto of "Keep Austin Weird." So yeah, that's why I'm so mad about that joke, because I hate that saying.
Got a replay though for us here. Trouble for the 49 of Chase Albright.
Looks like he just went way too deep in the 12 here. Oh yeah, for sure went way too high.
You got a turn there, Chase. So tough break for the.
There somewhere.
There was just a very late apex for the 49 North Collision Chevrolet.
Interestingly enough, Hoyland's on his 21st lap on fuel and tires. So it makes me wonder if that quote unquote, as you mentioned under that crank it up while we were off the air, as you mentioned, that 22 lap sprint quote unquote to the finish. Makes me wonder if Hoyland will be able to make that on fuel, because I think he's been fuel saving and he's at 21 laps on fuel right now.
I would be shocked if he hasn't been fuel saving. With how much of a lead.
To be fair, yes, I was getting ready to say the same thing. To be fair, he's got literally nothing else to do.
Well, it's a good way to practice your fuel saving if you are not fuel saving.
True. I mean, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. If you're practicing your fuel saving, huh? Taylor, are you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm still getting over a cold.
I can tell. Hey, don't worry. I did a show, or I did a couple of shows a couple of weeks ago with a sinus infection, which was not fun.
Oh, I believe it. As we pick up the 34 machine of Chase Leahy coming out of turn number 1. And, of course, Mr. Chase getting things ready for another series as we bring back Thursday Night Thunder coming in May, utilizing the SRX cars on iRacing. So stay tuned for that here coming up pretty soon.
Ooh, Hoyland down pit road.
He is finally down pit road, and just about 22 laps is what he's going to run. So
21 full laps on fuel there, and makes me wonder if under the stage caution, if he's going to be able to stretch that even further, possibly.
we'll see what he can do as Sean Boundy is coming around the circuit. He's already pitted. So, and let's see how long. I mean, for someone like Matt Hoyland, he can do a full pit stop and still have enough of a race lead over, which he decides to do. 15.1 second stop. And where is Mr. Sean Bounty? He still hasn't even hit the final corner, as there goes Matt Hoyland up to the top of turn 1.
Sorry, my audio cut out there for a second. Did Sean Bounty take tires on his pit stop?
Yes, he did. 15.1 second pit stop.
Okay, so...
Or, no, Sean Bounty did not take tires.
Okay, so Bounty did not. Hoyland took tires on his pit stop. That makes me think he's going to try to stretch it at the end. He's going to do an all-out push right here to finish off stage 2 on these new tires. Then, hear me out. I'm in my crazy phase here of this race. I think he's going to try to go to the end. 22 laps on tires and fuel to the finish.
You trying to do your big brain moment?
It's not really going well.
Join the club.
Ooh.
As Noah Rainwater moves up to P3.
It's a rough crowd.
Well, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't you worry. We'll go side by side. You're watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated live on Grid Vision.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. If your lawn sprinkler controller is more than 5 years old, give us a shout today. We'll come out and take a look, give you evaluation, get you set up for a new Wi-Fi enabled smart controller. We can monitor this from our office for you. Give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look. Let's upgrade your controller. It'll save you water. We can save you up to about, we're averaging 47 to 51% with our clients. Feedback we're hearing from us. So give us a shout today. We'll glad to come out and take a peek. Talk to you soon.
Got to say thank you to Bob for bringing us back from the commercial break as we bring you more coverage for the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. Picking up as Matt Hoyland just completed his first pit stop. We're closing in to the end of stage number 2, but we have a battle for the third position between Jurassic and Noah Rainwater as the SRI Chevrolet versus the Grid Vision Chevrolet heading down the back straightaway over towards the hairpin. And this is going to be exciting. Can Jurassic hold on for position? Rainwater thought about it, but backs off to make the corner here into the apex, tries to cross him over, gets a great runoff corner exit, and they're still going to be side by side through the stadium section.
Oh, the good old switchback there from Noah Rainwater in that 05 machine. Got the outside line for 13 there. Now he's going to have the inside for 14 and 15. The double apex here. Jurassic sends it deep. When he looks like Jurassic. Oh! Jurassic tried the up and under there, but it didn't work because there was a car to his inside. Now he's battling for 5th position.
That opens the door for Gregory Shepsis for that spot, as he will take the long way around out of the carousel as they head over to Whataburger Corner and come past the stadium, working their way over. But a great run by Gregory Shepsis as Jurassic sends it into the inside as they make the run to turn 16.
That's exactly what Rainwater wants to see. He wants to see these two battling. That's gonna allow him to pull away from these two and maybe build a little bit of a gap that he can have for a buffer. Oh! That Shepsis getting a little bit squirrely there. Maybe he didn't realize Jurassic was trying to cut him off there. Looks like Jurassic's gonna keep that position for now and go up and chase the 6 of Jordan Jurassic. Or nope, the 05 of Noah Rainwater. There, I got it out of mention.
There you go. You got it right there, Nick, as we pick it up here as they come out of turn number 1 and 2, snaking their way over towards the S's. But now everyone's stretched out by a couple of truck lanes over each other as Shepsis sends it in to try to close some ground on Jurassic.
Rainwater destroying those turtle curbs through the S's, but yeah, Taylor, you would think with how much I talk, I would not stutter over my words, but here we are.
I think it's safe to say we have all done that. As we pick up TJ DeBlasi sitting in 7th position in the number 78. Quiet run for him tonight. I don't think he's really had to worry about passing anybody for the most part here for the past few laps. I mean, he is in what we call no man's land.
Yeah, quite literally no man's land, because he's the only person in the S's right now as far as I can see. So, yeah, DeBlasi, yeah, he's passed nobody. He's racing nobody. Nobody's pretty fast, so we'll have to see if he can hold up nobody and not give up to nobody.
He's going to do his best in that 78 Toyota.
Was that a good joke?
No, you need to stop. That was worse than...
but you could do bad jokes. Okay.
Well, I mean, at least my bad joke was a funny bad joke. Yours was not.
No, it was not. Don't lie to yourself, Taylor. That's bad.
Well, we're going to pick up the MTV number 19 of Matt Garrett with Christopher Tate. Good little battle here further back for the 8th position between Tate, Garrett, Slow, and Leahy for that position at the moment, as they're some 21 seconds behind TJ DeBlasi.
Yeah, 100% no man's land for that 78.
Oh, there goes Albright.
Oh, was he around in 11 there?
He almost went around. I think he just went off.
Yeah, I just looked. It is 13 seconds back to Christopher Tate from TJ DeBlasi, and it's a further 27 up to Tristan Bruce.
4 laps. Tyler Truex has been working his way up. He's currently sitting in 19th position. Still not fast like we've seen Matt Hoyland as the 24 goes a little bit wide. That's Damian Neeson. But he has been picking up some spots. He's only 1 car away from getting the lucky dog position when the stage break comes at lap 28. He's got to catch up to Robert Colgan, but he's got 36 seconds to make up. Tall order for him. He's going to need a little help.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to need a lot of help, as he is a solid, probably 20 seconds off of Robert Colgan. And now Todd Lee getting ready to go a lap down as, ooh, a little bit of interesting moment there as Hoyland sends it deep on Todd Lee there. Here turns 12. That got a little bit scary for that 44 truck, but it's going to be another lap car down for Matt Hoyland.
That will now put 16 cars on the lead lap. Anthony Burleson, the next truck to be put a lap down, because our driver of Matt Hoyland is coming in quickly as they come out of the stadium section through the carousel past the Circuit of the Americas Tower. Probably one of the most iconic spots in all of the track.
Also iconic for that guy that went up there next to one of the mics at the Formula One race and was impersonating car sounds at the 2018 United States Grand Prix.
Yes, indeed. That was an interesting moment, I have to say.
Yeah, I remember that, watching that live. I'm sitting there like, what is happening? Looks like we got a pretty good dogfight going on for 3rd position. This is Rainwater, Jurassic, and Shepsis all within an arm's length of each other for that 3rd position. Jurassic, though, thought about going around the outside. Now it's going to be under attack from Shepsis once again.
Tristan Bruce also closing in on this battle for 2nd or for 3rd position as we ride on board with Noah Rainwater. He's going to try to see if he can get into this fight for a top 5 finish, possibly.
A lot of cars here. Honestly, this is not where I was expecting our fight to be. If I'm being dead honest, I thought our fight was going to be, you know, that dogfight of 4 or 5 cars. I thought this was going to be a little bit further back, you know, the 7th through 10th region, but you know, this is a battle for third. It was for second until Bounty just decided to turn on the jets, but, you know, I mean, I'm not complaining at all either. This is not me complaining. I'm quite enjoying watching this battle right here.
Skepsis looks to the inside of Jurassic, gets loose off turn number 1, gathers it back up. This opens the door for Tristan Bruce to come in for this battle as Rainwater starts to pull away from the rest of this field.
Rainwater now starting to pull a little bit of gap. He did that earlier, but I think he may have made a mistake, which had allowed Jurassic, Shepsis, and Bruce to catch back up once again. So, see if Rainwater can keep the gap this time. Shepsis, though, getting a little bit impatient through the S's, gave Jurassic a nice little bumper through turn number 6.
Working their way out of the corner here. We're going to see how this all plays out as they get a little squirrely. This opens the door for Jurassic to close the gap on Rainwater. As he looks to the inside, shows the nose, thinks about it, crosses over to the outside, trying to do an over-under move, cross him up. Tristan Bruce to the inside of Shepsis will move Shepsis out of the way and drag race with him down the backstretch.
Down the backstretch to the infamous turn number 12 here at Circuit of the Americas. Right in front of him, Jurassic making a move on Rainwater, going to give him the old switchback down the straightaway. Oh, that's a little bit risky there from the 05 of Rainwater, pushing Jurassic off the track. It's got to allow the 21 of Tristan Bruce now to get the 2-for-1 special, and that's Shepsis going around. 3 wide, though, heading into turn 13 as Shepsis spins behind.
Shepsis gathers it back up, but now, oh! Jurassic gets turned as Tristan Bruce takes over the 3rd spot.
Things kicking off big time here at Circuit of the Americas. Now Rainwater and Tristan Bruce fighting for this 3rd position. Bruce had the position, but Rainwater sent a pretty hefty dive bomb there into turn 15 through 16, 17. Now heading towards turn 18 and down towards Whataburger Corner. Bruce is going to attempt to look to the inside here of 19, but he's not going to have the space or the speed, maybe down into turn 20 as Rainwater goes a little bit wide. Bruce showing the nose, not going to be able to get on the brakes deep enough onto turn 20, and this battle's going to head up to turn number 1, or maybe not. Bruce going to complete the pass off of turn 20 as Rainwater locks up and goes a little bit wide off the exit of turn 20.
Gathers it back up as Bruce now moves up to P3 for the final step of the podium. 2 laps left to go in stage number 2. As we take a look at the replay here, Shepsis gets a little bit of wheel spin right there off the corner exit, loses it, and continues on. But we pick up this little battle right here. Tristan Bruce.
Oh.
Did he touch him? That's the question right there.
There was a bump at the apex with Tristan Bruce trying to do the up and under on Jurassic. But it's a question of, was there contact after that?
Let's find out.
Ooh, no.
No, he was already
right
around.
At the end, though. Yeah, but right at the end, a little bit of contact. But you're right. That was all Jurassic just getting on the gas too hard.
So we'll have to see what the officials say regarding that as pit lane is closed for your leaders. Matt Hoyland. Yeah, leader.
You said leaders. I was going to say, Hoyland's got a casual 42-second lead.
You're absolutely right. I will give you that one. As they work their way up towards the final corner, Matt Hoyland comes around. And he will get one more time around before we...
Oh, we got a car around off of 20. Olszewski spins off of turn number 20. Maybe had a little bit of help from the 79 of Anthony Burleson.
Checking that right now as we'll take a look at the replay. No, he was already looping around and Burleson had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I see that now. A little bit of damage for the 8 of Olszewski there.
Get another angle at this.
Yeah, there was Yeah, the Ada Oleszewski was definitely already spinning at that point, so there's nowhere there for the 79 of Burleson to go. As here's that another look at it. Of course, it's off of turn 20. Yeah, the 8 car was already going around, and Burleson just added insult to injury there for the 8 of Oleszewski.
Tough break right there for him as he will continue on in the number 8 Toyota as the 40 machine. Nicholas Tomlinson had a little bit of a close call out of the corner as him and Christopher Tate are battling for the 13th spot.
I was going to say, that was Christopher Tate that almost got loose off the corner right in front of our leader, Matt Hoyland. Of course, looking at a replay now here. Yeah,
Matt Holmes.
Matt Holmes getting a little bit square. Was that off of 13 right there?
Looks to be the case. As we keep an eye on Matt Hoyland, your race leader, coming out of the stadium section, coming to the carousel now.
I think he's just chilling behind a 30 of Christopher Tate. Tate getting a little bit loose there for the exit of the carousel. Woo! Interesting there, but
was able to keep on going. But for Matt Hoyland, he will come out of the final corner and put another lap on the board and add some more stage points. Caution is out for the first time here tonight to end stage number 2. We're not even going to wait for the top 10. So it's going to be Sean Bounty, Tristan Bruce, Noah Rainwater, Jordan Jurassic, Gregory Shepsis, TJ DeBlasi, Brandon Slow, Matt Garrett, and Justin Clapper, rounding out your top 10 in stage points as they wait for Fred, the pace truck driver, to come and catch up to Matt Hoyland.
And just a casual 2-minute, 10-second gap between first and 10th for that stage, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Keeping an eye on the action. We're under caution for the first time here tonight to bring the conclusion of stage number 2 for tonight's racing action. Drivers will have their chance to come down pit road here. Nick, what can you do for anything, if there's anything, to go and battle with Matt Hoyland?
Based on what I've seen in the first 2 stages, there's almost nothing you can do. Matt Hoyland just has that pace over everybody else. I mean, was his fastest lap a 2-minute, 20-second lap time? So the real question here is, what are we going to see? Because everyone should come down pit road. This should be the money stop for everyone. Those people that didn't take tires on their first pit stops should take tires here. It's just a question of, will Matt Hoyland take tires? That is the only question I have right now. Will that 44 trucks bolt on his last set of tires, or will he stay out? Because he's only got 6 or 7 laps on these tires. So while it is a lot for Circuit of the Americas, I still would probably bolt on that last set.
Well, of course, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll bring you pit stops and also the restart of tonight's racing action here at Circuit of the Americas. You're watching the 2024 Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated, only on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there lived people who faced dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now, and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look, evaluate what you do have, tell you what you could have. Give us a shout today for all your outdoor lighting needs. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, Bob Carr with TLC. Spring's upon us. If you got a wet yard, it's not going to get any better. Now it's time to give us a call. Let us come out and take a look at your drainage problem in your property. We can get you a solution. The dogs, the kids be tracking in mud. Mom will be mad. So give us a call. Give us a shout today. Talk to you soon.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. If your lawn sprinkler controller is more than 5 years old, give us a shout today. We'll come out and take a look, give you a evaluation, get you set up for a new Wi-Fi enabled smart controller. We can monitor this from our office for you. Give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look. Let's upgrade your controller. It'll save you water. We can save you up to about, we're averaging 47 to 51% with our clients. Feedback we're hearing from us. So give us a shout today. We'll glad to come out and take a peek. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to the Thunderclap iRacing series presented by TLC Incorporated. We are now just about to go back green flag racing momentarily. Of course, this caution period is brought to you by Connor's Cure. Join the fight against pediatric cancer with Connor's Cure, the official charity of the 2024 Thunderclap season. Thunderclap has tagged with the members of Mania Club to raise $40,000 by WrestleMania 40. With your help, and you can continue to fund carefully vetted cutting-edge, life-saving research for children wrestling with pediatric cancer. Head to v.org/Mania Club to support and donate to Connor's Cure and join the fight against pediatric cancer today. As you saw on the side-by-side, Matt Hoyland did come down pit road, but one thing is for certain, he did not take tires. He decided to take fuel only. Sean Bounty will be second place, followed by Tristan Bruce, Noah Rainwater fourth, Jordan Durasic fifth, Gregory Shepsis in sixth, TJ DeBlasi seventh, Matt Garrett eighth, Brandon Slow ninth, and Justin Clapper rounds out your top 10.
Now here's the interesting thing about Matt Hoyland not taking tires, Taylor. Everyone else around him did take tires. So that means Matt Hoyland's going to be at a disadvantage compared to the other people around him. You know, the Sean Bounties, the Tristan Bruces, the Noah Rainwaters, the Jordan Durasics, you know, the guys that have been in a dogfight for the last 30 laps? Those guys, that's going to bring Matt Hoyland into this battle. So things are going to get crazy for Matt Hoyland, but if he's able to continue the pace he's been running tonight, I see no reason why he shouldn't be able to pull the gap that he did earlier in this race.
He certainly is going to be the one to watch here as they make their way over towards the corner. No pressure as they get themselves situated. And as our producer Darby just said in the group chat, WrestleMania is just 2 weeks away.
I am pumped. I am so excited for WrestleMania.
All right, who are you going for? Are you going to go...
Cody Rhodes, come on now. Cody Rhodes.
I think everyone here in Grid Vision is pulling for Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, to take home the undisputed championship here in a couple of weeks' time.
Take down Roman Reigns.
As they work their way out of the stadium section of the course. Will anyone be able to pull away, or will everyone have to acknowledge towards Matt Hoyland's dominance that he's had here tonight as they work out of the carousel, getting ready to go? As Matt Hoyland is definitely the British Nightmare for tonight's racing action at Circuit of the Americas.
Do you think that Matt Hoyland will be able to keep up? As in, do you think he'll be able to keep his lead and keep this pace up?
I say he probably won't be able to pull as much of a gap as he did during that green flag period that we had. But I still think he could probably pull out to about a good 10-second lead.
Well, we're getting ready to see what's going to happen here.
And with that, the Pine Gulf green flag is in the air. Buddy the flagman hard at work once again. And we're back racing here at Circuit of the Americas. And now it's going to be the drag race to the top of turn number 1. And Rainwater thinks about going 3 wide, thinks better of it. Boundy tries to go around the outside. Will everyone make it clean through? Truex sends it in deep. Picks up a couple of spots and will continue on his way. But for Matt Whalen, he survives turn 1 as Rainwater makes the charge. Christopher Tate takes it behind the wall. He is out of the race.
Sean Bounty, the big loser there, restarted 2nd place. Now he's sitting in 4th position under attack from the 6 of Jordan Jurassic. Whalen, though, interestingly enough, keeps the lead on that restart, even on the older tires here. Remember, he's on 8-lap old tires. There's, Rainwater all over the turtle curb there through turn number 8. Excuse me, that was turn number 7.
Works his way through and gathers it back up, but Rainwater now, as Tristan Bruce moves up to P3 after that. Boundy Jurassic dropped back to 4th and 5th. Matt Garrett into the top 6 as he battles, as Boundy looks to the inside of Bruce to pick up the 3rd spot.
Boundy makes an incredible dive bomb there, and that's going to put Tristan Bruce under attack from the 6 of Jurassic down the back straightaway. Boundy now has his sights set on the 05 of Rainwater. Remember, this is almost exactly how the race initially started. Rainwater was leading Boundy, and, Jurassic was right up Sean Boundy as well, so things definitely looking very similar to how that initial start was.
Really good fight for position as Jurassic tries to hold off Tristan Bruce. They go back at it once again. Garrett right there in the mix as they come out through the stadium section.
Into the turn 16, 17, and 18 section, these guys go. Jurassic gets past Tristan Bruce in that 21 machine through the triple right-hander here. There goes Matt Garrett to the inside of the 21 of Tristan Bruce behind Jurassic. And it looks like Garrett's going to make the pass work. Here comes Shepsis as well as they head down towards Whataburger Corner.
And for the first time tonight, Matt Garrett breaks into the top 5 as he tries to pull away. Shepsis drops back to P7 with Justin Clapper coming up forward. He's going to have to see if he can have a good run here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned how there should have been a 22-lap sprint to the finish. This is actually going to be a 17-lap sprint to the finish, 18-lap sprint to the finish as these guys took the green flag on lap 32. So looks like everyone should be good on fuel from the time of this restart, and it's just going to be a matter of who can save the tire necessary to make 18 laps here.
And it's going to be the trick question for these drivers as Clapper holds off against Reed Foley for the 9th spot. Brandon Slow right there trying to break into the top 10 once again. As Mr. Weaver over on the YouTube chat says, let's go Rainwater. He's definitely going to be making a fight here for the top 3 as we ride on board with Brandon Slow side by side between Clapper and Reed Foley for position as Slow tries to close in the gap.
Slow, this is off, I believe, the front bumper of Brandon Slow here. This is, that's Justin Clapper getting a little bit hairy through turn number 9 and now through the kink of turn number 10. We got a battle for the lead right now. Sean Bounty just dive bombed Matt Whalen for the lead. Now they're drag racing down the back straightaway here. Bounty had the run off of turn number 11, heading down towards turn 12. Whalen now, for the first time tonight, having to defend his position, defend the lead here. Looks like Bounty will clear him into the braking zone of turn 12, and Whalen not able to really do anything under the brakes. And still, Bounty clears him.
Jurassic goes off after missing the braking zone, running into the back bumper of Rainwater. He's going to drop all the way back to P8 after that. Continues on with his race, but for the first time, a lead change happens with 33 laps completed as they work their way through, and Sean Bounty will lead them out through the carousel. It's just that strategy we talked about, taking tires or not taking tires. Could this be the defining factor that will give Bounty the win?
Hey, this is my third key to the race, wasn't it? Strategy was going to become a part of this race, and it already has, as it looks like Bounty's going to lead his first lap of the night off of that pit strategy. He took tires, Whalen did not. So it looks like Bounty's going to lead going to be the first car to lead a lap that is not named Matt Whalen.
Ooh, a little bit of contact between Clapper and Slow, as Slow nearly collected the 46 of Todd Lee. As As we go back live here, possibly. Nope, we got one more replay. This is the 49 of Albright making contact with Bo Condon out there on the track, collecting nearly Dominic Cahart. As we go back live now, what can Matt Hoyland do? He has now set the pace pretty much all race long, as last time by, Sean Bounty set his fastest lap of the race, a 2:20.87.
That lap did have an off track, so it's not an official fastest lap for Sean Bounty, but still the second fastest lap of the night behind Matt Hoyland, who ran a 2:20.3 on the first lap of the race.
But the question is going to be, does Matt Hoyland consider, does he have enough to save tire, or can Sean Bounty manage his tires? Yes, he has fresher tires right now, but if he just burns them off here during this stage of the race, Matt Hoyland could slowly creep his way back in and come back with the race lead. You know, we heard, even though we were racing at Bristol this past weekend, with the tire degradation that we saw, you know, we saw some drivers give positions away, realizing that they were faster, those drivers were faster, going to use up their stuff. As we watch this battle here for the third position between Rainwater Garrett and Tristan Bruce, could we see Hoyland pull off the same different strategy where, I'm not going to burn off my stuff this early, go ahead, Sean, burn up your tires, I will come back around you in a few.
That would not surprise me if that's the plan for the 44 of Matt Hoyland, as he's just sitting on the bumper of Sean Bounty. He clearly has the pace to be faster than that 35 machine, but it's a matter of, does he want to pass him yet, or does he want to wait? And it looks like Hoyland's employing that strategy of just sit on his rear bumper, sit in his rearview mirror until he makes a mistake.
Could be a great way also to see how everyone else around the circuit is running their race around the track as they come out of the final corner across the start-finish line. And they both nearly run identical lap times. Bounty a tick faster with a 73.6 compared to Hoyland's 79.6 as they come up to the top of the hill at turn 1.
Yeah, Bounty is for sure pushing right now, and I think Hoyland's just trying to pressure him into a mistake. I think Hoyland can easily run low 221s on these tires, but I think he's just sitting here trying to pressure Bounty into a mistake, try to force him into that mistake, and, you know, get his lead back, because the more time that passes here, that lessens Matt Hoyland's chance of getting around Sean Bounty, because even though Bounty may be burning his tires off, Hoyland's going to fall off a lot quicker than Bounty will, purely because of how much older tires he has compared to that 35 truck.
Absolutely. Here as we keep an eye on the track temperature. Air temperature picked up a little bit. It's about 111 degrees track temperature, as well as clouds start to roll in across the track. It's a little bit cloudy. No rain here as we watch Rainwater work his way out of the circuit. So far so good. But no rain going to be utilized in tonight's racing action here at Circuit of the Americas. For the trucks, at least. Now, if this was either the Formula Ford car or the Formula 4 or any of the sports cars that are utilized, then it would be a different story.
I kind of hope we get rain for NASCAR, if I'm being honest. I think that would be really fun. You know, just trying to survive in a 3,200-pound brick in the rain. I think that would be a lot of fun. Ooh, move for the lead here. Matt Hoyland gets to the outside of the 35 of Sean Bounty through the through the arena section. He's going to try the up and under, but he's not going to be able to get the drive off the corner going through 16, 17, and 18 here.
He tried to make it work as they come out of the carousel, but Hoyland did not make the pass. He's going to hold position here, and with these two battling, Rainwater's starting to close in a little bit. It's kind of stabilized to about 2.9 to 3.1 seconds. But with these two battling, we could have a 4-5 car battle for the race lead as Shepsis sends it in deep on Tristan Bruce for the 4th position.
Yeah, fall off really starting to set in here as now Sean Bounty a 227.8 for that 35 machine. Matt Hoyland a 227.6. Rainwater a 222.8, a 222.6 for Shepsis, and a 23.4 for Tristan Bruce. So fall off definitely becoming a factor as Bruce all over the yellow sausage curve through turn 1 there. got some really good airtime there in that 21 machine, but unfortunately, this is not a skills competition. This is a race, Tristan Bruce.
He's able to keep on as he snakes his way through the S's here and gets a good run, but so does Matt Garrett. He'll stay tucked up behind that number 21 Infiniti Chevrolet as they climb up the hill over towards the next hairpin.
Yeah, this is coming through turn 8 here and into turn 9, that quick switchback. You'll always see people get caught out by that quick change of direction needed there, and then through the kink of turn 10, which is almost flat out. Now towards turn 11, the second good passing opportunity is the second hairpin here. It doesn't look like Garrett has the speed to get to the inside of the 21 to Tristan Bruce.
Gets a great run off the corner exit, though, as he's right on board with Matt Garrett as they head over to the back straightaway. Bounty, though, doing what needs to be done as he holds position. Hoyland gets a good run, though, into the braking zone as he tries to cross him over through the stadium section, but not able to do so for the moment.
It just looks like Hoyland's a lot more confident on the brakes than the 35 of Bounty is, and I honestly don't think Bounty has the confidence on the tires that Hoyland does, because Hoyland looks a lot more comfortable right now than Bounty does. Bounty seems to be getting a little bit too hard on the gas here and there, you know, getting a little bit hairy on the rear end of the truck there. And like I said, I just think the 44 Hoyland has a lot more confidence compared to Sean Bounty.
Absolutely, as they work their way through the Whataburger corner and make the run up towards the final corner, turn 16 here. And still a lot of great racing action in and amongst this field, especially in this closing stage.
Another lap goes by there. Bounty with a 22.3, Hoyland with a 22.4, 22.2 for Noah Rainwater, and a 21.8 for Shepsis. So Rainwater and Shepsis are catching, albeit not very quickly, but they are closing in on Matt Hoyland and Sean Bounty. They brought that gap from about 3.4 seconds down to just over 3 seconds that last lap alone.
Rain is coming, and he is working his way through as they work their way through the S's. So does Gregory Shepsis. He's closing in the gap with that Pine Gulf Ford F-150. And keeping an eye on this battle as the two Toyotas of Bounty and Hoyland still make the charge for the race lead. But there you see Tristan Bruce right there in his Chevrolet. This is going to be exciting. 5 trucks here battling for the race lead.
Yeah, especially with Bounty and Hoyland seemingly starting to fall off on these tires. So this is definitely going to get interesting as that gap now under 2 seconds for Noah Rainwater. He is pushing that truck for everything it's worth in that 05 machine.
Great run out of the hairpin as they make the run down the back straightaway here, as he is starting to pull away from Gregory Shepsis and Tristan Bruce as they make their way down into the braking zone. As Hoyland gets a good run, as here comes Shepsis to the inside, shows the nose but not able to make the pass.
Rainwater cutting off that lane for the for Shepsis there, and Rainwater going to continue to try and close this gap in a little bit. You see it's just creeping over about 2 seconds there for the 05 or Rainwater. We'll have to see if Rainwater is able to keep up this pace. Bounty's slow. Bounty is slow. Hoyland gets back past the 35 there. Wonder if the 35 of Bounty got loose off of turn number 15 there. No, this is actually a pass into 13. Hoyland made the pass into turn 13, and now he's starting to pull away as we'll look at the replay here. You see, coming off of turn number 12 here, Hoyland gets a really good run and just sends a dive bomb to the inside of 13 there, and Bounty pretty much just gives him the position off the corner through 14 and into 15.
Absolutely here, and he will now take over the race lead and have a little bit of a battle for 4th position between Shepsis and Bruce as they climb the hill up turn number 1. Shepsis tries to power back through.
Yeah, textbook switchback there from Shepsis there. He let Bruce go deep, and kind of switched them back there, but now side by side through the S's, down towards turn number 7, one of the trickiest corners here at Circuit of the Americas. It looks like Sheps is going to keep the position for now.
See what he can do here as Garrett, along with Jurassic and TJ DeBlasi, try to close in as Tristan Bruce looks to the inside as they come down the hill.
Bruce gets through turn 10, but that's going to allow Shepsis to maybe make a dive bomb here into 11. It doesn't have the speed, but he may get the run off of 11 down towards the backstretch in turn 12. The 21 of Tristan Bruce does get a little bit sideways there off the corner. TJ DeBlasi a little bit slow further back here.
Yeah, DeBlasi got a little loose. Let's take a look at the replay here. As Tyler Truex had some problems out of turn 16.
It's out of turn 20 there. Truex, did he just spin by himself, or did he have a little bit of help there?
Did not show that.
Oh, he just got too deep on the brakes there and
Yep.
looped it.
Turn 20 strikes again for Tyler Truex.
Tyler Truex has not had a good race tonight.
No, I mean, he's currently still one lap down in 18th position. And, of course, with the lap 1 incident that he had at turn 12 as well, he is definitely going to cross this one off and look ahead to the next race.
Austin Edstrom is screaming with joy right now at the mention of turn 12 and an incident. Only real ones remember turn 12. Our producer said it was turn 7, but he doesn't remember but that we were also making fun of turn 12 at the Indy Road Course race for NIS last year.
Let's be honest, Nick, if it has more than 4 corners, you're making fun of it.
True. I can't deny that.
But
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead. Nope,
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, these two leaders have really started to pick up the pace. You know, it was a 2:22.009 for the 44 of Hoyland that last lap and a 2:22.140 for Boundy. So these two leaders definitely have picked up the pace as now the gap back to Rainwater has gone from just over 2 seconds to up above almost 5 now. As of the last timing loop, Rainwater 4.6 behind the leader.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It seems like now that Matt Hoyland's going to be the rabbit in this battle here and start to pull away from Sean Boundy. You know, we're going to see the gap start to spread out because with Hoyland behind Boundy, it caused that gap to close up because we saw how Boundy wasn't as aggressive on the braking as Hoyland was. Now we're seeing Hoyland start to pull away at certain points and get that advantage, allowing the gap to spread out.
Yeah, that makes me think Boundy may have pushed a little bit too hard to start this race. To start this run as he's really starting to fall off the 44 of Hoyland.
Just a little bit as they work their way out of turn number 12, heading into the stadium section of the course. Next time by will be 10 laps to go.
Yeah, we're coming up on full distance of what a normal truck race would be here. I believe it's 42 laps or 42 or 43. Let me check on that. Yeah, 42 laps for the truck race this Saturday. So definitely we are coming up on that full length, and we still got. Once we get up to that, there's still another 8 laps that these guys have to do.
They come up to turn 20 now as Sean Boundy tries to close the gap, but so far losing a little pace, goes a little wide out of turn 20. About 4 truck lengths separates your top 2 as they come across the line. 10 laps to go for your race leaders as they climb up the hill. Rainwater and Tristan Bruce will try to do battle for the final step of the podium in 3rd position, with Gregory Shepsis watching on in 5th.
I tell you what, I think Matt Hoyland heard us when we said that he may be struggling on these tires and may not be as fast as Sean Boundy, because on, what is that, 13 lap old tires, he just casually runs a 221.9. You know, just casually.
Just to prove a point.
Actually, you know what? He's on 20 lap old tires, I just realized. It was what, lap 22 when he pit, lap 21, somewhere around there?
Give or take. So currently he's been on the track for 10 laps on this stint. So yeah, you're looking at right around 22 laps.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you remember he did not take tires under the last pit stop, so yeah, just casually 20 lap old tires. Yeah, I'll go out there and run a 21.9. It's nothing, absolutely nothing for me. Just another Wednesday night for me. See, Rainwater was defending there just a little bit from the likes of Tristan Bruce. Has got a replay here. Oh, this was Matt Garrett. Yeah, that's turn 3 right there. That's the beginning of the S's. How did he spin there?
See if we can get another look at this as he's working around TJ DeBlasi. No, he just looped.
Oh.
And it looks like when he was trying to avoid making contact with DeBlasi, he turned a little too much and then looped it around, but no contact, no issues. He still has about a 7-second advantage over Matt Garrett, or not Matt, Reed Foley.
Oh yeah, just looks like it caught a little bit too much curb there and took her for a ride.
Yeah, the only time I was going to say the only time you would see drifting really when it comes to cars around this circuit is back when the Rallycross series came out to Circuit of the Americas a few years ago.
I remember that. I remember watching that, actually.
Same here. It was good.
Oh, what is this?
It's trouble for one driver. Tristan Bruce,
was that?
possibly. Yeah, it is Tristan Bruce. He's fallen down to P7 here, and did he have help from Noah Rainwater or Gregory Shepsis?
Oh, maybe a little bit of help. Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
He had help.
For sure, from the 05 or Rainwater there. Unfortunately, that looks like it's going to be the end of the hunt for the podium for the 21 of Bruce. As we're going to look at from our chopper view here. That is coming off of turn 13 there and through turn 14 on the exit. Ooh, I may not put that all on Rainwater.
We'll let the officials sort that one out.
I was going to say, Rainwater held his line there. Maybe squeezed him a little bit too hard, but I still wouldn't put all the blame on Rainwater there.
I would certainly agree with you on that. As Matt Hoyland has checked out from your second place driver, Sean Bounty, 1.8 seconds. Then you got to go another 9 seconds before you catch up to Noah Rainwater, who's battling Jurassic and Gregory Shepsis for that final step of the podium. Then another 5 seconds back to TJ DeBlasi, another second to Tristan Bruce. Matt Garrett's 3 seconds back from him, and then 8 and 7 seconds back is Reed Foley and Chase Leahy, your top 10. With that, we're going to take our final commercial break, but when we come back, we'll bring you the conclusion of tonight's racing action for the TLC, or the iRacing, Thunderclap iRacing Series, presented by TLC, live from Circuit of the Americas, only on Grid Vision.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there lived people who faced dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now, and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look, evaluate what you do have, tell you what you could have. Give us a shout today for all your outdoor lighting needs. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, Bob Carr with TLC. Spring's upon us. If you got a wet yard, it's not going to get any better. Now it's time to give us a call. Let us come out and take a look at your drainage problem in your property. We can get you a solution. The dogs, the kids be tracking in mud. Mom will be mad. So give us a call. Give us a shout today. Talk to you soon.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Thank you, Bob, for telling us all the great things over at TLC Incorporated, as we are back with the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. Matt Hoyland, well, he's doing Matt Hoyland things, leading the race once again at Circuit of the Americas by 4 seconds now over Sean Boundy. Noah Rainwater sits in third position as we are under 10 laps left to go here in today's race. Of course, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by RL Productions. RL Productions is a video marketing agency specialized in digital advertising and event solutions. RL Productions offers custom brands, strategies tailored to your organization, unique goals with in-house level attention to detail for digital and broadcast advertising. Their production professionals offer start-to-finish event services for your conference, convention, or event, from staging and lighting to live show productions and complete presentations. Visit rlproductioncrew.com to turn your company goals into real-life productions.
You know, Taylor, I was so tempted to come over and say, whenever you said Matt Hoyland was doing Matt Hoyland things, I was so tempted to come over and say the sky is blue, grass is green. What else is new?
Exactly. I mean, and everyone would have agreed with you on that matter. Because he has absolutely done one thing, and that is dominate this race so far.
There's got to
Even
be
when he
another
was
word
not
we
leading.
can use.
I know.
I was gonna say, there's got to be another word we could use, because dominate doesn't do it justice. Is butt kicking okay? Am I allowed to say that?
I mean, yeah, that's okay.
Because I mean, it's not as much
Give me
as
a minute.
dominating.
I'll give me a minute. I can think of some words for you possibly. As we have issues with the 40 machine of Nicholas Tomlinson and Justin Clapper. This is around the 12th position, and Anthony Burleson will try to come around and take those positions, but they will continue on their way.
Things getting a little hairy off of 12 there, and it looks like Clapper may have just sent a unwarranted dive bomb there into 13. I think that's a fair assumption.
Seems to be the case here. As they will continue on their way and still keep on battling for position.
Well, we are officially over the full distance of what the truck race is going to be this Saturday afternoon, as these guys are working lap 44 here. Hoyland up into turn 1, and yeah, this has been a very long race for these guys, if I do say so myself. I mean, I was harping on it earlier in the race that this was going to be an endurance race of sorts for these guys, because, I mean, to be fair, most road course races on iRacing really don't go over 2 hours, but it looks like these guys will go over the 2-hour mark here at Circuit of the Americas for 50 laps.
Absolutely, as they continue to work their way through the circuit. As Sean Boundy, we pick up him. He sits in second place, 4 seconds behind your race leader.
For the back, this is Rainwater, and Sheps is having a pretty good battle for that third position, that final podium spot that has been so contended over throughout the night tonight. So good to see that these guys haven't killed each other yet. Is down into turn 11. Like Rainwater maybe locked up a little bit there. Allows Shepsis to get a pretty good run through turn 11 and onto the back straightaway here. This may allow Shepsis to make a move for third position here. So yeah, he's got the draft. He's going to look to the inside. Rainwater's going to throw a quick little block there. Shepsis, though, still gets to the inside. Did not lift there as they head towards the braking zone of turn number 12. On the brakes, it looks like Shepsis is going to have the move done. Oh, no, he's going to go deep. Both go deep off the corner. That's going to allow Jordan Jurassic back into this battle.
He's going to put a good run on this here as they work their way through, but Rainwater will drop back to 4th position, as maybe 5th, as Jurassic will clear him, but Rainwater tries to power back through on the outside, but to no avail, he drops back to 5th.
Rainwater made one bad move and lost 2 positions because of it, and he's going to be on the back foot once again as they head down to Whataburger Corner here. Oh yeah, by the way, Matt Hoyland, you know, just casually on 25-lap old tires is still running 222s. You know, just another Sunday drive for this guy, you know.
Absolutely, just taking them to town. And I mean, we've seen drivers put on dominant performance. We've seen them put on absolute stunning drives. Matt Hoyland is one of them here, as he is the road course ringer.
Tell you what, this has definitely been a long race tonight, so I'm curious to see how these drivers are feeling post-race and seeing how their wrists are doing, because I've done my fair share of full-length races at road courses, and I can tell you for sure that they are definitely painful.
Well, 23 drivers are still out there after 45 laps. About 6 drivers have taken it behind the wall before the conclusion of tonight's race. So it just comes to show you how things are working out. Jurassic tries to close in on Shepsis for position. So far, Shepsis is going to hold on to that spot for the time being.
Yeah, Shepsis made that move there into 12 here, and got really deep onto the brakes and locked up, but somehow was able to keep that position, and he's built up a little bit of a gap over Jurassic. Jurassic there getting a little bit wild there over the curbs, and surprised he didn't get a slowdown for that.
He's been able to maintain it to where he hasn't gotten any major penalties here tonight. They hit over the curbing. Of course, the new 3D curbing coming into play for a lot of the tracks. Not here at Circuit of the Americas yet, but they will come soon. So give it a time, and we will soon have the 3D curbing added on.
I was about to ask if Coda had the 3D curbing, but you answered my question before I could even ask it.
Well, there you go. Well, the 3D curbing is, of course, a new graphical feature, but also handling feature where the curbing, yes, you don't see, as you see right here on screen, you know, it's not pointed up like what we would see normally at these racetracks. So you could pretty much run over them a little bit and be no problem. I mean, you would still get a penalty possibly, as you see right there. You see the curbing, not really 3D. The turtle, as you see right there, is, but that curbing is not. Now, in some of the tracks on iRacing, you'll actually see the way the curbing is, where it's actually like raised up. So, which will then cause a little bit of issues for some drivers, depending on how you drive around these tracks. And it can affect the handling of your car. So it will be a big guessing game of seeing how well you can manage racing over the curbs at any of these road courses that have them in the near future.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sebring is a track that got the 3D curbing in the latest season update, and as someone who has driven multiple thousands of laps of Sebring, and it being one of my favorite tracks on iRacing, I can definitely tell you there is a stark difference between 2D and 3D curbing. Like, it is a noticeable difference between the level of detail, the way you can take curbs, the way that the car handles over curbs. Because, I mean, you take a look at Sebring and that corner that leads onto the Ullman Straight, it's called Lamont Corner. The exit curb, you used to be able to run all the way out onto that and, you know, be able to use all of that curbing and get the car on that curbing and not really have a time penalty because of it. But now it's a lot more serrated and a lot more rough on the exit of that curbing. So you're really only able to put 2 tires on that curb, which has slowed down lap times and it has slowed down speeds through that corner and really made that corner a lot more realistic compared to real life.
Just iRacing doing what it's trying to do best, which is bring the most realistic form of sim racing and racing on the virtual world to life, as they continue to do some amazing partnerships with both NASCAR, IMSA, IndyCar once again after their return to iRacing as an official license, and of course the World of Outlaws.
Tell you what,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll tell you what I'm really excited for the IndyCar is they've leaked an update, like a full aero graphical update to the 2024 specs for IndyCar. So I'm really excited for that. There was a minor graphical update to the IndyCar at the season update, and it basically messed with the way the halo kind of sits on the car. But I'm really excited for the aero update for that car. That's one of my favorite cars on iRacing, and not to brag or anything, but I am leading my division championship right now for the IndyCar iRacing.
Well, there you go. Look at you going for it as they work their way through. I gotta say,
There's only been one race, but you know who's counting.
I nearly won last year's USF championship on iRacing in my division, which was kind of fun.
I think I was 3 or 4 points off of winning my division championship in A Open Season 3 last year.
As they, as our producer Darby mentions, he only has one Rallycross championship to his name. Hey, those
was mean.
Yes, it was. You should go back and think about what you did.
Okay, I'm going into timeout now. You can commentate the rest of this, right?
Oh no, this is your punishment. We have only 3 laps left to go in the race.
Yeah, easy work for you.
Oh yeah, easy. As we watch Matt Hoyland continue to do what he does best, which is lead this race.
Not really much else going on in terms of racing here. I mean, that battle for second/third that battle for third, it's kind of cooled down. I mean, Shepsis is still right there on Jurassic, but I mean, they really haven't made any moves in the last couple of laps, so I think these two have just flat out burned their tires off.
Yeah, and they're just trying to coast their way to the checkered flag here in a couple of laps' time. That way they can bring it to a close and move on to the next race.
Oh, that is oh, no, that is not a slowdown. I didn't think we were on an onboard camera of Jurassic there.
Coming up on the number 8 of Andrew Olazuski, who loops it around out of turn 20, but is able to get back going before they come down on him. Barreling down as they come across the front straightaway, heading up to the top of the hill at turn number 1.
Oh, Sheps is getting a little bit close for comfort there to the 6 of Jurassic.
As Jurassic will pull away by about a truck length over Shepsis as they head through the S's, but Shepsis closes the gap as they work their way through the S's. And he is trying to find his opening as he will put the bumper a little bit almost there to the back bumper of the Grid Vision Chevrolet.
That begs the question, will there be a move down into 11? They're coming up through turn 8 now. This long, winding right-hander into the right-hander at 9. Jurassic gets a little bit loose coming off of 9 and down into the kink of 10. It's going to allow Shepsis to possibly make a move down towards the apex of turn 11. Doesn't quite have the brakes into 11. That allows Jurassic to keep the position for now, but now the long back straightaway that leads down to turn 12.
He gets a good run. He's got a little bit of the draft right here to help him. He'll look to the outside. Does he think about setting up into the braking zone of 12? Crosses over to the inside. Jurassic really tries to go defensive and tries to shut the door, but he lets him go. Shepsis overdrove it. And with that, I think it's safe to say that this is game over for Jurassic and Shepsis, as Shepsis will lose a ton of time on Jordan Jurassic.
Yeah, that looks like that's going to be the end of the battle for third position there, unless Jurassic makes another drastic mistake.
That
is a very old replay. Ooh, I did not see this first. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he definitely overshot that.
He probably missed about 200 or 300 feet of his braking zone, of where he should have put the brakes on.
Minimum. Let's see where he braked, because you're supposed to brake there. Oh, my goodness.
I don't think he shifted, except there.
Oh, man, yeah.
Meanwhile, Jordan's just minding his own business after throwing that block, and there goes Shepsis, and then he'll just go this way. Two laps to go left for Matt Hoyland, as he is just now coming over to turn 11. As he works his way down across the back straightaway here in no man's lane. He's got one lap car up ahead of him, which is Bobby Grant.
Yeah, this is the no man's land. Oh. Oops.
Bobby Grant decided to make things interesting for your race leader, but was out of the way of his position.
Mid-race autograph, maybe?
I mean, if you want to get out of the way of the leaders, that is one way to do it.
Yeah, just go give a casual mid-race autograph there. Yeah,
Little Timmy was over there in the fence line, and Bobby saw him, and...
here you go.
There you go.
Gave him a little souvenir there as well.
Yep. Well, for Matt Hoyland, he just has to be smooth and consistent for one more lap. Out of turn 20, the white flag is in the air for Matt Hoyland, as Barney the Flagman will wave it vigorously. For the RL Productions white flag, one to go as they make the climb to the top of the hill for the final time, as he will lead him, and let's walk him through around the racetrack once again.
Of course, that was turn 1 there, now headed downhill towards turn number 2, this long, sweeping, high-speed corner that leads straight into the most terrifying part of the track. The entry of the S is turn 3, turn 4. Watch out for the sausages there. They're dangerous. Turn 5. Now to turn 6, the one that just never, ever ends. It feels like it goes on forever. And it's straight into that right-hander at turn 7 with one of the most dangerous sausage grips on the track. Now into turn number 8. Another corner that just does not feel like it ends. And then straight into turn 9, and that's going to conclude the S's as they head for the kink of turn number 10, which is almost flat out, but not quite. And then you're going to be as late on the brakes as you dare down into turn 11. Too late though, or else you risk a chance of locking up and going sailing off into the outside wall there. But Hoyland now heading down the back straightaway towards turn 12.
As they work their way down the back straightaway towards turn number 12, he will continue to find his braking zone. He could brake even right as soon as he sees the brake markers and just still have enough of a race lead. Take care of his equipment as he will smoothly brake his way into turn 12 as he enters into the stadium section for the final time. A couple of lap trucks up ahead of him of Matt Holmes and a few others, so including Bo Condon right there in the mix as he works his way out of the pit boss corner. and out of the stadium section. Good old HEB sign right there as they come across, as I noticed that. As they work through the carousel for the final time and heading over to Whataburger Corner, Matt Hoyland, except for a couple of laps, takes the lead and just never looks back. He works his way over to turn 20 for the final time. And Matt Hoyland, once again, the road course ringers come in action and win tonight as he will celebrate here at Circuit of the Americas. And then we wait. Here's Sean Boundy coming home in second place. Good points night for the Rebel Racing machine. And then Jordan Jurassic, a good run for the Grid Vision Chevrolet, as he will round out the podium here tonight.
Pure and utter domination from the 44 Matt Hoyland tonight. Just an absolutely dominating performance from that 44 machine. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Almost nobody had a chance in this race. Let's be honest here.
Absolutely. I mean, he just put on a drive that we will probably not see until we go to the next road course with Matt Hoyland. But it just shows you how incredibly difficult it is to race here at Circuit of the Americas, and why it is a welcome addition to racing in NASCAR, because it really does test the limits and the skills of drivers. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you're literally taking NASCAR heavy stock cars and trucks and putting them on a Formula One track and letting them race.
Like I said earlier, you're pretty much driving a 3,400-pound brick around a track that was meant for, what, 1,500-pound state-of-the-art Formula One cars?
Exactly.
And it's a pretty good show, let's be honest.
It really is. Just for just the driving capabilities and styles that these drivers have to negotiate in order to do well and let alone finish here.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
As I say, definitely an endurance race for these guys tonight. It was just probably one of the toughest races out there is Circuit of the Americas when it comes to road courses. So,
well, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll give you your full field rundown as well as interviewing your podium finishers. You're watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated live on Grid Vision. Welcome back to Grid Vision's coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. It was Matt Hoyland who takes home the checkered flag, leading 46 laps and winning by 16 seconds over Sean Boundy. Jordan Jurassic will come home third, followed by Gregory Shepsis in fourth, Noah Rainwater, Tristan Bruce in fifth and sixth. TJ DeBlasi, Matt Garrett, Brandon Slow, and Reed Foley round out your top 10.
Finishing in 11th place tonight, Chase Leahy with Nicholas Tomlinson in 12th position. Anthony Burleson going to be finishing 13th position tonight with Justin Clapper in 14th. Robert Colgan going to be finishing in 15th position. First car one lap down with Andrew Olszewski in 16th. Tyler Truex, after a pretty rough race tonight, going to be finishing in 17th position with Todd Lee in 18th. Damian Neeson in 19th. Dominic Payhart rounding out your top 20.
As we move further down to 21st position, it's Bo Condon, followed by Matt Holmes, Bobby Grant in 23rd, Chase Albright, Christopher Tate, Matthew Montgomery, Brandon Schumann, Matt Cherry, and Ryan Zunk round out your 29-car field. Those drivers from Chase Albright down did not finish tonight's racing action. With that, we will now go to our top 3 finishers, and we're going to go to the Grid Vision Chevrolet of Jordan Durasic. Jordan, a good run for you tonight in the Grid Vision Chevrolet, coming home in P3. I mean, walk us through tonight. How are you feeling? I mean, you basically went longer than the NASCAR Truck Series will go this weekend here at COTA.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty brutal race just overall. I mean, we had a fast truck. I wouldn't say we had winning speed or top 2 speed, but we definitely had the 3rd place or 3rd to 4th place speed. And managing traffic was really hard, especially with the 05 car. He was just fast enough in the right places, but slow enough in the wrong places, and I just couldn't ever manage to get a run. And then I finally got him there with about 6.5 to go, and my main goal was to really get a top 3 so I can get an interview with this awesome Grid Vision truck they ran tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of things still to go. Good points night for you. I mean, how confident are you feeling as we move further and further into the regular season of these much-needed points to get you through into the playoffs?
I've already exceeded my expectations than what I would have started this season. I mean, I do put a lot of hard work, and I still feel like I'm trying to prove myself in the series, even after having a couple wins from last year. But I just feel like hard work is proven to show the speed out there, and it really is a week-to-week basis. And I hope to get a couple more wins, and just want to be that guy in the series, that threat that they see and intimidate them when they see me in the mirror.
Well, he's currently your points leader here tonight. We'll see if he still maintains that points lead, which is safe to say he probably will. But as they move on to the next race in a couple of weeks' time, Jordan, anyone you'd like to say thank you to before we let you go?
Just want to give a shout out to Darby for allowing me to run this Grid Vision truck. I mean, it's a beautiful truck, and I'm just proud to get y'all a top 3, and hope y'all had a great broadcast watching it. And I want to thank all y'all guys, Justin Clapper and Justin White, for running this league.
Absolutely. That is Jordan Durasic in the number 6 Grid Vision Chevrolet. We'll now move on to Sean Boundy with Rebel Racing. He is with Nick Stein.
Sean Boundy, I mean, yeah, led a couple of laps tonight, but let's be honest. Did you really think you had a chance against Matt Hoyland tonight?
No, I never actually did. Yeah, we cycled up to second after the first 2 stages. I think our pace was a little slow starting the race. I knew we had a long run to get to stage 2 and take tires there. So I just took my time getting around the cars that qualified ahead of me in the first run of it. But once I got up to second, and then that restart, I looked at everybody in my mirror and felt like I was going to get run off the track. So I kind of went wide to save it, and forced me back into 4th. And I just felt, you know what, I really don't feel like I was going to have a chance to win the race, but I had to drop down a gear, get some acceleration on corners, and try to get my second place spot back as quickly as I could. Once I did that, I was running really decent pace with Matt, and Matt ran a phenomenal race. But once I got to him, I thought, you know what, I don't think I'm going to have a shot at the win, so take the points that I can, get my bonus point for leading a lap, and when he passes me back up, then that's it. But at that point, I already knew I abused my tires enough that I wasn't going to be competition at the end of the tire run. And I'm happy with second. We got some points over Jurassic, and for the overall series, and we came out with a really solid day.
Now, what if I told you that Matt Hoyland didn't take the last time he had taken tires was lap 21?
Yeah, he told me that. When he did that, when he did that and took off, I knew when our gap separated even more that was when he took his tires, and I'm like, but he his craft. I'd raced with him events before in the off season, and I knew he was really fast. And given how far he jumped ahead of us, I wasn't concerned about, is that my opportunity? I knew he could hold pace, but yeah, he got him a little early, but he's learning the series here, and I think that's pretty much all it is. I don't think that bothered him one bit, though.
I was gonna say, I found it surprising that he was on 25 lap both tires and just casually running 2-minute 21-second lap times in the truck. But you know that it was a good race for you though, Sean. I mean, to say you finished second place to Matt Hoyland, who had I believe a 45-second lead at one point in this race. Is there anyone you got to thank for this good performance here tonight?
Just I put in a lot of practice. That's pretty much all it is much right now. I really appreciate everybody that came out and ran a great solid race. There wasn't any bad hiccups. I know some people's feelings were hurt somewhere in this race, but we ran really awesome, really clean, competitive racing up front, and I couldn't be more happy with that. Is how it turned out, and just thank everybody at Grid Vision for being able to capture all that.
Well, congratulations on the P2 tonight, Sean. Hope to see you in a couple weeks' time.
Absolutely, thank you.
As we move on to our race winner, the number 44 of Matt Hoyland. Matt, absolutely a great drive for you here tonight. And I'm surprised you haven't fallen asleep just yet with this. I'm pretty sure the wind kind of woken you up a little bit more after tonight's race, being over there in the UK.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired right now, but it's helping. Having got that win, yeah, awesome race. I really couldn't have asked for it to go any smoother than it did. Yeah, really pleased with it.
Now we got to ask, I mean, a lot of drivers were talking about how much tire wear was done after their run, even for those who pitted under the last caution. You did not take tires on this last pit stop. How bad were your tires when you came back on pit road and checked them?
Good question, because I didn't think to check them. I took tires, I think on my first stop, so around lap 22. But to be honest, by the end, they still didn't feel that bad. I think, as far as I remember, I was still lapping like 224s, which was still really competitive. So I did spend a lot of time yesterday in practice. I did just as long as I could do in one set, just to see how they behaved, and I think that really helped a lot with just keeping them alive, and thankfully it paid off for me.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing you probably at the next road course. When do you think we'll expect to see you back on the Thunderclap series?
I mean, ideally, I'd like to do it every week. It all varies on how early I have to get up the next day. In an ideal world, I'd like to be here every week. I usually don't know until a couple of days before, but hopefully I'll be here next week. But we'll just have to see what happens. It'd be nice to be able to run most of them. Obviously, there's a great group of guys running, and it's always a good race. So yeah, I'll hopefully be here next week.
Well, before we let you go, give you a shout out to your sponsors and those you want to say thank you to.
Yeah, I'll give a little shout out to DXT, who's obviously on my bonnet, which is my UK-based team. Big shout out to all of D&Q. Obviously, this whole oval racing thing this is my first time really doing it seriously, and they've all been really helpful with me, really welcomed me to the team. So thanks to them for bringing me in and taking a chance at me, and it's nice to be able to pay them back with a decent result.
That is Matt Hoyland, your race winner here at Circuit of the Americas, and we hope to see him back next week, possibly for the next round of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC. Nick, come to you for final thoughts on tonight's race.
I mean, typical road course race. I mean, you had the one guy that dominated the entire night in Matt Hoyland, and then it was a ton of tiny little battles throughout the rest of the field. I mean, you had that insane, almost 20 lap long battle for that second position that got really heated at points, and then there's just these sprinkled little battles all throughout the rest of the field, and that made for a pretty entertaining race, seeing as how long it actually was.
It certainly is. But for the entire Grid Vision crew here tonight, for Nick Stein, my co-commentator, Austin Derbyshire, our producer, and the rest of the Grid Vision team, as well as the entire Thunderclap iRacing Series group, we want to say thank you for tuning in tonight, and we will see you Friday for our conclusion of racing action here at Circuit of the Americas. And of course, we have to say thank you to the great Andrew Cardinal for the amazing cameras that we have here tonight. As we say goodnight, and we'll see you next time on the grid.